Trying to lose weight can be so frustrating, especially if you have lost weight, gained weight, lost weight just to regain it again. And girl, I completely understand this. It's even more frustrating when you feel like you have never really reached some kind of a happy weight. That was me. And it can be very tempting to just take a pill, a weight loss pill. And these days, that's a big talk. Everybody's talking about weight loss medication, Ozempic, you name it. It is the big topic. And today we're going to get into that. Hey, girl, welcome back to Rock That Fitness with Anna Rockstar. In today's show, I'm super duper excited to welcome Shawn Needham and Janet Needham to the show. They are pharmacists, they own their own compounding pharmacy, and they are experts when it comes to medications, weight loss medications, specific, and also hormone medications. Anyway, I wanted to talk to them and get their point of view having to do with these weight loss medications that can be so tempting. Who is it for? Who is it not for? And what are all the considerations that we should consider? Let's dive in. All right. All right. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show, Shawn and Janet Needham. So excited to have you on the show. I don't think I've had you on the show before, right?
No, you have not.
You had me on your show and it's been years, crazy enough.
Yeah, probably 3
It,
years, I'm
like
guessing. I don't
maybe
remember,
3.
but
It's been
yeah.
a long time. I know it's been more than 3. Anyway, I'm so excited to have you on the show today. And before we get in, I'm not going to introduce you. I would love to give you guys, both of you, the opportunity to just introduce yourselves and tell us about you and what you do.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having us on, and thank you for what you do. You're inspiring, and the way you teach women to lose weight effectively the right way. We really appreciate that. Being in healthcare ourselves, we are two pharmacists. Janet and I have owned a pharmacy for 26 years now. It's a specialty type pharmacy where it's a compounding pharmacy, which means we mix up our own stuff. And 95% of what we do is hormone replacement for women and for men. So, and we ship prescriptions all over the country. So our pharmacy is Moses Lake Professional Pharmacy. And we absolutely love what we do because we are actually help people and get them better and try to get them off most medications. Um, Janet and I are two pharmacists that you're going to love this. Two pharmacists that don't believe in drugs to treat long-term disease. So for high blood pressure, for type 2 diabetes, for high cholesterol, for reflux or gastrointestinal problems, we don't believe in drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Those are lifestyle and diet type issues that we try to counsel patients on to get off their medications.
Yeah. Okay. I might ask you
And
some more about that.
I
okay.
do. And the subject today it hits home to me really hard. So when Shawn and I chose to go into this profession, we really thought we were going to help people enhance their wellness and prevention. And what we witnessed when we graduated and started practicing, that we were just sending one more drug out the door with people, and it just seemed like their chronic illnesses just were building on top of each other. So when we were in business for ourselves, we decided, you know what, we can do something different here. Either that or we're just going to get out of this, because it just didn't hit us, in the mirror when you would get up in the morning. Are we doing what we should for our clients? Are we helping them live a better life? Because that was the purpose of going into healthcare, was to help people live an optimal, healthy life. And really, we felt like we were just giving them one more med each time they walked through that door. And the first time it hit me super hard is I had a client who I loved taking care of, met her when I first moved to Moses Lake and started practicing pharmacy. And Patty ate herself to death. She was over 500 pounds and she was dying, and she had just turned 50.
And she told you she ate
And
herself to death.
she told me, my
Wow.
husband drank and did drugs, but I ate myself to death.
Oh, wow.
And, for me, it hit home because we have been sending home all these diabetic and heart meds. And I just felt like, I helped dig her grave. Not once did I tell her, Patty, you need to change your lifestyle.
Mm.
And I think that that's kind of where we are in our country, is we are looking for one more pill to solve our lifestyle choices and decisions. Never ever do you hear of a doctor in mainstream health. I mean, I know there are,
Never is a strong word.
right, but very close to that. In mainstream, what we would call everyday healthcare, our patients being given some form of prescription of activity or some form of diet to help them. All we do is prescribe another drug.
Yeah. I mean, that just comes to mind, like just practicing medicine. So
Yeah,
I agree.
right.
And I love that, that your goal is to help people get off medications if that's possible. I mean, obviously for some people they're at some point in their health, in their whatever condition, they may not ever be able to get off of some of the medications based on their condition, but I do understand the premise here. The premise is let's do everything that we can for our health and our fitness to prevent having to get on medications and also to wean ourselves off of those medications. That's huge. So I can appreciate that, Janet. Thank you for that story. Yeah, so it's a pleasure. I feel the same. Obviously, my nursing background. It's interesting to me because I practiced as a nurse in the hospital, and my passion for health and fitness just grew to this point where I didn't want to be on the prevention side anymore. I mean, the prevention side, the treatment side. I wanted to be on the prevention side. And so it just pushed me to that point where I'm taking a leap of faith because I believe so strongly that there's just so much more power we have over our health and our fitness when we do the things that our body was intended to do, how we were intended to live, how we were intended to eat, move, live our lives and our lifestyle. So right on board with you guys on that one. So today, the reason I reached out to you guys, obviously, because y'all are experts in the field of medication and pharmaceuticals, and 26 years of being in the pharmaceutical business, like amazing. And I'm a big fan of you two because you two are living your lives a lifestyle, healthy, fit lifestyle. And real quick, like tell us, y'all are married. Tell us your age. Can you give us just a quick synopsis because you guys have both had some transformations happening with your own health and your fitness, right?
Yeah, mine actually started in 2009. Well, on and off, basically my entire adult life. I struggled with my weight, especially after college. Um, and then in 2009, when I was 39 years old, I finally made the decision I'm not going to live like this anymore. I was, probably 60 pounds overweight, and my kids were, you know, getting almost to be teenage years, and they were getting more active, and I wanted to be able to be active with them. So finally in 2009, December 2009, I decided I was going to lose weight. In 2010, I lost about 60 pounds. I went from 228 and I think I got down to 168. And I've maintained plus or minus since then. I've gained some muscle mass, since then. So I've gained some weight, but probably lost body fat and actually increased lean mass. And that, as you know, Anna, is the important part. The
Yeah.
scale, as you talk about all the time, means very little. I mean,
Yeah.
although still some of us, like myself, are kind of a slave to it. And it does keep me honest, but I do realize that, muscle mass is more important than just weight. So, and body composition. So I decided to lose weight, and, we changed it. We did it by changing our habits, changing our eating habits. We had a son at the time that would have been 7, and he was obese. And it's really hard to look your kids in the
Yeah.
eye and tell them that they're obese when you're obese. And
Right.
we get this all the time in our pharmacy practice. Parents come in, they say, well, I feed my kid well. I don't know why he's overweight. And we're just honest and upfront now. We've been practicing long enough that if we offend people, sorry, I'm not sorry. But
Yeah.
it's like, well, ma'am, look at you. I mean, you're not eating right. You're obviously 100 pounds overweight. What do you expect from your kid? And we live that. So now both my sons are 24 and 22, and they are, one of them deadlifted 485 7 times the other day.
Wow.
Um, and Jordan is 6'3", 225 pounds, ripped. I mean, my youngest. So I mean, both of them work out. They know how to eat, and that's, I mean, that's generational change right there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's what we need. I don't make very many guarantees, but I can pretty much guarantee you, if I didn't change my habits,
Yeah.
my kids would not have. My kids would, at least one of them would still be obese. I'm just pretty sure of that. And then,
Yeah.
Janet had a transformation of her own, and she can go into that.
Well, I think for our family, it wasn't just losing weight. It was a lifestyle change, and it did start with my husband changing his goals, and some of it was hey, we aren't going to live like this anymore, because it wasn't comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If you come home from work and your feet are hurting, or you just feel like crap every day, I mean, that's just not going to work for you. So we made small changes. I mean, nothing happens overnight, in my opinion, that's long term. So the first change I think we made mostly was, what are you bringing home from the store? We just made a very conscious decision that we were just going to leave the boxes at the store. You just shop the perimeter. And so eating whole foods made a huge difference for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think for myself, for going through perimenopause and menopause, and getting to the other side of it with health, it's a journey. It's not easy,
Right.
but I think when the whole house is committed, and you just start with small things, and just work towards it together. I mean, we're not perfect. There's times where we travel, and we don't have the cleanest
Right.
choices, but we do the best we can. And I think it adds up over time. It's just that one thing after the other that you make small choices and decisions. I personally do not bake. I could live without eating pies and ice cream and cake, but if I made cookies, man, I'd eat the whole thing. Right.
Well, so would I.
So right. And so I know the things that I struggle with, so they just don't come home, or I just don't make them, or so small decisions in that journey. But I also think, for myself, the physical part of exercise, um, I just struggled for a long time making that commitment. And it wasn't that I don't like to do exercise, but I think as a mother and owning a business and being involved in your community, you just let yourself slide. You don't make yourself a priority. And so when that moment comes where you're like, I'm done, I need to make myself a priority, then that opens up a window of actually how you can care better for your spouse and your children and your business, because you feel better about yourself. So, that was a learning journey, but I think it all just kind of slowly happened over time. I don't feel like I look in the mirror, and it was, 1 month later or 2 months later, you see the things on Facebook about, well, this person was like this or that, but I think it's gradual. It's just a slow change. And then you realize how much better you're feeling, and you can put more effort as you go along into doing more things.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. So thank you for sharing that, you guys. I know you've been through the journey. I know you're on your own health and fitness journeys every day, so you get it. So I appreciate that you're sharing that with the audience here. Um, so the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is, obviously it's a huge hot topic. It's very trending right now. The weight loss medications for the past, I mean, there's always been weight loss medication. There's always been these things, right? But what we're encountering right now in the past couple years is this thing that you're hearing everywhere, GLP-1 for weight loss. And so my question, and I know a lot of people are asking this because it's all over, it's being advertised, and people know, oh, you got to see a doctor. Now there's a weight loss medication. If you get on this medication, you will lose weight. Like, the studies have been done, the research is out there. There is an actual weight loss pill now, right? So it's really stirred up excitement for people to lose weight, to get this, from a doctor's prescription and do this thing. And we keep hearing GLP-1. We keep on hearing GLP-1. But there's also